to the police for interrogation or conversation, or what's your own thought?
Let me start by saying that the role of the police, the job of the police is a very important one, and it is basically to serve and to protect. And in protecting, it has to be, the police are required to provide equal protection to all parties in a dispute. And police, in carrying out their duties, are supposed to be guided by certain principles, one of which is neutrality, impartiality, integrity. Now, if you subject the role of the police in Rivers State to these principles, obviously, you will agree with me that the police have failed. They have shown patent, partisanship in the way the police have handled it. Because in the first place, you will see even from the video that the commissioner of police himself was, present when this madness was happening. Now, even before that, you will also notice that from his utterances and his conduct, his body language, it is clear that he cannot be trusted to continue to remain, and that is why there's a groundswell of calls in the demands.
Okay, and it is not just. Let's take it round then. Let's take it round. I'll start with you, Mr. Appiah. In terms of what is perceived to be non-neutrality on the part of the police in this case, do you think it is right then to ask that all key people identified in the video at least, and possibly extend that to the others, should they be reporting to Abuja, or should there be a way to resolve the issue of the police within the state and then ask them to deal with the issue within the state?
Well, we all know that the police is part of the problem, especially the police in Rivers State. So you cannot be a judge in your own matter.
Well, they're not expected to judge. They're investigating.
Even investigation. Because the issue of investigation is equally a professional thing that could be either objective or subjective, depending on who is handling it.
Okay.
There have been calls over the period that the CP should leave the state. And if the CP that is being accused and his men of standing by and festering the crisis in Rivers State should be the ones asked again to come and investigate the crisis, even if they are doing it rightly, everybody will say they are not doing it rightly. So the police in Rivers State, with all due respect, shouldn't be the appropriate venue for investigation of this crime, if there's a crime. Secondly, I want to say that the law, our law, envisages a situation where there will be crisis in the House of Assembly. And if you look at that law that is holding, Legislative Houses Powers and Privileges Act 2004, Section 32 provides that anything that happens within the precepts of the House cannot go outside. That the House is mandated to keep the honorability of the House. The House is mandated to set up committees, investigate it, and where they find anybody culpable, to write a letter to the AG of the state by way of information to prosecute such persons. In the case of National Assembly, to write to the Attorney General of the Federation, the Speaker will write in the case of House of Reps.
So are you implying, I'm sorry, because we have limited time,
what I'm saying in essence is that the police in Rivers State cannot and should not be allowed to investigate what has happened in Rivers State.
Okay, your talk then, Mr. Dick.
The police in Abuja.
Mr. Dick, because we have to wrap up
exactly.
very
quickly. What is happening is very interesting because, you see, people from outside Rivers State stay, analyze, and extrapolate on Rivers people what the police should do. It is on record that this is the first commission of police that a governor has come out to say he wants him removed. If you come to Rivers State, there is what is called an SOS. Is a police formation that is solely dedicated to the Rivers State government house. Those people can arrest you. You will be there for 2 months. Even your lawyer will not have access to you. So the commissioner of police is now being on the wrong side of Governor Meji, because this is a commissioner of police that have refused to be used because it gives equal protection.
I'm sorry.
Now,
Now,
let me immediately point out this is my legal provision cited section 32 or is that section 32 restriction of prosecution and no prosecution shall be served an offence under this. See that section is not secret on the appropriate section. The appropriate section is section 21, which says that it goes that any member of the legislative house, being a member of the committee, assault or obstruct a member of the legislative chamber within the chamber or precinct of the house, assault or obstruct any officer of the legislative house, it goes down and down. Then, provided that listen to the proviso, that is what we tell you. Nothing in this section, that is okay, subsection 4. Nothing in this section contained shall be construed to preclude the bringing of proceedings, civil or criminal, against any member in respect of any act or thing done contrary to paragraph B or C. B and C is assault or obstruct.
Let's quickly comment. Let me quickly.
Chidi cannot escape criminal prosecution.
Absolutely. Let me quickly clear something before we went to our honorable colleague. I was going to ask you a question. You cited subsection 22 of the same act, the Legislative Power Act. I want to ask you, are you saying that when a member is suspended from the House of Assembly, during that time, if there are laws to be made, their inclusivity is not needed? You don't need their inclusion. Is that what 22 is saying?
If you're suspended, you cannot even be on the floor of the House for legislative
So if we have to make decisions, we can go ahead without them. Is that what you're saying?
That is what the law says.
Okay. All right. If that's what the law says, sorry.
Nobody's under suspension.
Okay.
That's what the law says.
Nobody's under suspension.
We must wrap up.
Nobody's under suspension.
Sorry, could you please let me finish? Could you let me finish?
We have 27, they have 5.
We have to wrap up.
You have 27.
Sorry, excuse me, gentlemen. Excuse me. I will start with you, Mr. Wanguma. Your final word.
Yeah, my final word.
And please focus your final word on solution and way forward.
Okay. Yeah, for me, what is required is for the, because I think there's need to, do some constitutional amendment that will remove, political control of the police. Because I think that is where this whole problem lies. Now, the Inspector General of Police answers to the President. And if the President has an interest in this matter, it is difficult to have the IG, do an impartial investigation that will lead to solution. And that is why at the level of the civil society, on police reform, we are saying that there's need to revisit section 215 of the Constitution and sections 9 and 10 of the Police Act, which centralizes political control of the police in the hands of the President.
Okay, that's your final. What's your final word?
Right. From what my friend has said, what did he say? The police has no right to be part of its own destiny. In the development of this crisis, you will agree with me that the governor of Rivers State is the major actor because he has the pro and anti factions in the house. But that same governor, because of the Constitution, the power the Constitution has given to him, have set up an inquiry committee to burrow into these affairs. So has the Commissioner of Police at the state level have been given similar functions. So if the governor has a right to set up such committee, the Commissioner of Police has that same right to investigate this matter.
Okay, well, unfortunately, we will have to wrap it up now because we don't have enough time. There are a number of other issues we'll have to look into. So I want to say thank you very much to you, gentlemen. We know that this conversation will continue through the course of next week. We just might have you back to discuss it next week. You said so much. I will not be asking for final words between the two of you. So I want to say thank you to Mr. Okechukwu Nwaguma, Mr. Shobi Jumbo on this side, and on the other side, Barrister Tubo Tamuno Dick, and also Mr. Eric Appiah. Thank you very much for being on the show. We'll have to bring you back at some point.
But we're leaving this paper with you.
It's all right.
This paper with you that carries Chidi Llyod similar action.
Please join us again.
Thank you.
Protect democracy.